We're on the home straight now as the race for the 1A playoffs is really heating up. It's round 16, fifth hosting third, only 2 points separating them on the table. It's Lansdowne versus Terenure College. Lansdowne have only lost one game in 2025, currently enjoying a 3-game winning streak that has kept their semi-final hopes alive. A win today would catapult them into the top 4 picture. For Terenure, they've lost 2 on the bounce. They've won 8 of the last 10 AIL games against Lansdowne. A victory today will create some breathing room. I'm Kieran Noble and I'm honoured to be joined today by the legendary former Irish international and Lansdowne legend Mickey Quinn. How are you, Mickey?
Great, thanks, and really looking forward to this game because there have been some fantastic tussles over the last couple of years between Lansdowne and Terenure, and Terenure have had great success, obviously, and it has reverberated through their club, and we're here now trying to pack up from behind. So hopefully we can get a result today, but let's have a good game of rugby first, eh?
Now we'll go through the teams quickly. Greg McGrath is the rock in the front row for Lansdowne. Ewan Beacus and Rory Clark make up the engine room, and they have an exciting back row that includes former Irish under-20 Liam Maloney. Jack Matthews and Steve Madigan are the halfback pairing, and centre Andy Marks has scored 11 tries this season, while winger Pete Sullivan will look to pick up another few tries today after scoring 2 last time out. Sean Skeen has selected a strong team, a strong front 5 that is spearheaded by Captain Luke Clohessy. The back row is packed with power: Will Hickey, Jim White and Jordan Coughlin. Familiar to the club are Alan Benny and Conor McKeown at the halfbacks, and Adam LeGrew switches to 13 today, so often at fullback, while the exciting Aaron Egan starts at fullback. So this should be a cracker, and really for both teams, if they want to make the playoffs, they need to win today.
Yeah, well, it's that's what it's all about today, is winning, and you know, that's what's going to make it such a good tussle, and it's a good crowd here as well, you know, so there's going to be plenty of excitement. We really look forward to this game, and you know, let's hope the weather holds off. It's threatening rain at the minute. It had been a lovely day up to now, but the threatening rain might change things quite a bit.
And you said it earlier, 31-28 was the score, I think, when the teams met in the semi-final last year. Terenure were strong favourites that day, but Lansdowne really brought them into a dogfight.
Yeah, well, you've got to hang in when you're in a situation like that. It's a cup situation, so you've got to give it your all. So both teams were doing that, and you know, Lansdowne might have been a bit unfortunate that day, but they didn't quite get over the line. And I think it's been like that for the last couple of years, where Terenure have been just coming out on top in most situations. So it will be close, that's for sure.
Yeah, like I said, 8 of the last AIL fixtures have all gone the way of Terenure.
Yeah, they have, and they've a lot of confidence there, and they have such a big pack as well that it you know, it does give them an advantage in size, I think, over Lansdowne. But Lansdowne will be hoping that they can just get in amongst them today and maybe make some breakthroughs.
And Andy Marks is the man to do it if they need that man.
Yeah, he's an excellent player, really top class player, and you know, he gives us a lot of plus, really. You know, I think there's a lot that the pack can do as well, though. If they could get a good start, you know, it could all go well for them. You know, as Terenure have just come onto the pitch now, and we'll see which way this game starts up, and see who takes the first leverage at the start of the game.
Jonathan Erskine is the man in the middle today from Ulster.
Bridge.
Yeah. An Ulster man. Refereeing an all-Dublin match here today. 1A. And we're on the home straight now. The season's nearly done.
It's nearly done. And, well, you know, I mean, you think it's done, and then you have the playoffs, and then you have, you know, there's sort of a fast run in at the end of the season, and then you've got all the Leinster European matches on, and it's going to be very interesting finish of the season, and you know, hopefully we can see Leinster do well this year again, and maybe go that extra step.
Hopefully they get over the line.
Yeah.
I went to the final last year in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Oh, yeah. I was at that as well, and you know, like, it was just I thought what killed Leinster that day was the fact that they're representing Ireland in Six Nations, then they're playing for Leinster. I think they just ran out of steam, actually.
Went extra time that game as well.
Did, yeah. Well, and the French were fantastic anyway. I mean,
Anton
what a team.
Dupont.
Oh, what a player. What a player. But they've so many good players, and so, I think if we just, if Leinster can just hang in this season, they've got that little bit of extra experience with RG Snyman, who's a wonderful footballer. I mean, I haven't seen softer hands in a forward ever than him. He's marvellous at getting the ball out. He's a really top player. Top player.
And here come Lansdowne. They'll be playing on the left of your screen, and Terenure will be on the right. And a big crowd building. And I heard Andy Farrell was at the pre-match lunch today.
Yes, he was, yeah. He was up in the... I was saying to him that I sent him a text there the other week saying, well, we know you're not helping the Irish team out because you're not supposed to. But I said, it's a bit like Jerry Adams not being in the IRA, isn't it? Of course you were making the phone calls.
I'm sure he had a few words to say to Simon East to be all right.
Of course he did. And, he's quite happy the way things have gone. I said, I hope our guys didn't do themselves any harm. And he says, we're still going to pick the best team we can to go to Australia. So I take it that none of the Irish players are out of the running yet.
And it will be Madigan to get us underway. Just waiting for the referee's last word. A Blackrock schoolboy player. Very good player. Yeah, good player, Madigan. And we're underway in this game. It's taken in well from Terenure. Lansdowne make the early tackles. Alan Benny, former man of this club. Terenure looked to play early on, put it through the hands. Their big centre, Ethan Riley, from Australia, I was told. And McKeown, also a former Lansdowne man. That's right. Looks for touch, but he doesn't find it. And fullback Killian Redmond from Tullow. Bounces off the tackle. Lansdowne look to go down that short side. Madigan pulling the strings. A first real look at this attack. Terenure trying to get over the ball, and that's a really good steal. But as I say that, illegal. Yeah. His hands were on the ground. If he'd actually pulled his arms up and went back in, he would have been okay. But he was coming from the side as well, which left him slightly open there. And it looks like they're going to go for the through. Well, I think you've got to, in this sort of a cup type competition now, where you're looking for the win rather than the fancy tries. It's not going to matter, I don't think, about tries today. I think it's a matter of getting points on the board and being ahead at the finish. That's what it's all about. 91 points this season, Madigan. We'll look to add to that here. Hopefully. And it's a good one to start out with anyway, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, I knew the Friday. Strikes it. No. But it's gone wide. And wide. Okay, just tailed slightly right of the post. He might have had the head up a little bit there, but it just tailed slightly right of the post. It's one chance gone now, so got to make sure you don't have too many of those misses. That's the thing. If you go for the points, you have to take them. You have to take them. That's the big thing in these games, and you'll be a bit disappointed with that. Terenure send it down the throat of Lansdowne, and it's bouncing all over the place. But Marks gets the kick away. Ground maker for Terenure, that. But Terenure will be pretty happy with that, Mickey. They will, yeah. It was a good brute down, and Lansdowne didn't cover that off so well. I'm a bit disappointed. There was a bit of hesitation. There was a little bit, and the ball starts bouncing around the place, and then that second's gone, and you're under pressure then for the kick. And that's exactly what happened. First line out of the day from Max Russell. He finds the captain Clancy, but it's not a clean ball. So
very crooked ball. So it was quite crooked, that one. I mean, I know about if you don't jump. Well, the Lansdowne actually did jump against it, but it was so crooked. It was on the outside arm of the Terenure lads that time. So there might be a bit of a win there, it certainly looks like there's a bit of a swirler going around.
Makes it difficult for the throwers.
Yeah.
And who's impressed you this season from Lansdowne?
Well, I think the most obvious one, of course, is Andy Marks. Has been tremendous. Parat in the centre with him. Newly for the second time a father last week, so he's celebrating and he's a good player. And Killian Redmond has done very well at fullback as well.
Was with London Irish for a time.
Absolutely, a good player. And up front, Bukes in the second row is a fine player. Came from Trinity College, and there's Jack Matthews is doing well at scrum half for us this season as well. And Harry Van Eden, another South African, is playing number 8. Very, very good player.
Leinster Academy.
Yeah, Liam Maloney, a top player. So we've got some decent players there,
And it's a bit of a challenge for Lansdowne when the likes of Foley and Tector come in and out sometimes, depending on their Leinster arrangements.
Yeah, well, we haven't had them much. We've only had them for, I think, 2 games in the whole season. It's a pity they don't play more games because they're actually not getting games with Leinster, right?
And Lansdowne get the early penalty at the scrum, so they'll have a chance to go down the line.
Yeah, they'll head down the line with it and make a bit of ground. That's what it's about. Get out of your half. Don't languish in your own half because that's where the mistakes happen.
But Lansdowne have only lost 1 game in 2025, and that came against Clontarf.
That's right, yeah.
Cracker of a game, 49-46.
That's right. It was a last-minute job as well. But they've played quite well in this new year, so...
Bateman Cup win as well in that time.
Yeah, that was a good day out for us too.
And a chance to see this line, the Lansdowne line out in action. Shouts are crooked, but the referee doesn't think so. Madigan engages his players. They go down the left side. And that's really good from Lansdowne. Working their way into the 22. But the ball's gone out. The linesman's just waiting for the call from the referee. We were talking about hesitation early on.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what happened there, but he's called a scrum. Oh, yeah, it's a scrum. It's a knock-on. Yeah, he's doing a knock-on.
And, of course, Terenure have plenty of talent as well, don't they?
Oh, Terenure is a cracking team. They've so many good players in there. And the sort of guys I've really enjoyed watching is Adam LeGroux has done so well for them at full-back.
And he played for Leinster, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. He's done very well. And Jordan Coughlin, of course, is the big light in that team.
Leicester, Tiger, Munster.
Yeah. Oh, he's a top-class player, and he's been the big lift for them in the last couple of...
But Lansdowne getting up in their faces, making it difficult. And here comes the counter-ruck. Tricky situation for Terenure here. They might look for an exit at some point.
I think they've got to look for an exit on this one.
It might be Alan Benny who takes on the responsibility. But they're taking their time.
Taking their time. It was a very slow one, wasn't it?
And Aaron Egan, the fullback, has a big boot. He plays 10 a lot, Aaron Egan, but today he's playing fullback.
Yeah.
He was with Trinity for a couple of seasons before he joined Terenure last year.
Yeah. And what school was he?
Glenstall Abbey.
Oh, Glenstall Abbey. My God. Now, they've had a couple of successful years at schools level in the last few years.
But that's why Sean Skeen was in Glenstall Abbey's coach.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So that connection is there.
Connection's there, yeah. They've certainly done well down there, and they were never known as a rugby stronghold, though, back in the day,
Yeah, that's a good line out. Clark takes it really well. But again...
The ref got in the way there.
The game's just a little bit disjointed in the early going, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But I mean, it's all nip and tuck stuff, you see. They're trying to take each other on and, set the template for the rest of the game. And, sometimes leads to a fairly messy start in the game, you know.
But during the week as well, there was probably a lot of talk around this game, how important it is.
That's right, yeah. And we're going to play this way and whatever. And then you probably have to change it during the match anyway, you know.
Adaptability is something that Andy Farrell always talks about.
Absolutely. You've got to be able to change and not wait till half time to change. You've got to change it as the game progresses.
This is a huge chance for Lansdowne to launch something now from the set piece. Van Eden takes it from the back.
He's a strong boy.
Decides to go himself. Andy Marks coming in on the line, but Matthews says, I've got it. Here's Clark. They get low on him. But there's a bit of flow to this attack now.
Oh.
Barada kicks one through.
Oh, hard luck.
But that's a great last-ditch tackle.
Great, yeah, it was a great piece of work. And a good kick to the corner because he caught it on the full. So it's good play by Lansdowne.
Rory Parada going with the kick. Measured it to perfection.
Actually, he probably after having a second kid this week, he thinks he can do anything he wants. And everything will work out for him.
It's probably a little break for him being on the rugby pitch.
Absolutely. He's more chance of getting a rest here than he will at home, that's for sure.
That's a good pressure line out from Terenure.
Yeah, it's great.
Tackling the big man, well, he's driven back.
Oh, he's a brute.
Aggressive tackling from Lansdowne. But McKeown says, I'm going to get it off the pitch. And that's a really good exit.
That's a good kick, yeah.
Plenty of purchase on that one.
Coughlin makes such a difference to them, you know.
Yeah, he's become a real leader. And especially now the likes of Harrison Brewer aren't there anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Connor Boomer isn't there as well.
I'd say when he was born, he killed the midwife. He's a tough boy. He's a very imposing player. You know, when he's the ball in hand, like he always does the right thing as well.
Another good line out from Lansdowne, but as I say that, commentator's close.
Yeah. No, he got that slightly wrong, the throw, but it looked good, but it was just a bit crooked.
Jack Cook, the captain this year for Lansdowne, of course, club captain.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Former London Irish.
Captain. Yeah, he's a good lad. Poor old London Irish, they're in a right mess now. With Eddie Jordan having passed away this week, he was buying London Irish. I don't know whether that deal has already gone through.
Has it gone over the line?
No.
Legend of motorsport, Eddie Jordan.
That's right, a great guy. And you know, to think that you know, from you know, a backyard in Dublin where he was tinkering around with cars, he was you know, up to the very top level of motorsport. It's fantastic. He had a fantastic record, you know. Because I hope the London Irish deal is done, because otherwise they're going to sink even more, you know.
London Irish, a great club, had players like Topsy Ojo, Barry Everett.
Absolutely, yeah. There's some very good players.
Yeah. Here's Riley.
Oh, good run.
The Australian with the step makes some ground, but Lansdowne have stolen it. Beacus, the South African, but they've got the penalty.
Let's see, yeah.
Line or points?
I'd go points. I'd take my points.
Is that the out half in you?
Yeah, I would take the points, because I just think these games are so tight that you'll get enough chances to try and go for tries. And I just think that when a kick is there and it's within range, now what you don't want to do is take a kick and miss the damn thing, because then you're really, it's too negative.
I heard you never miss me.
Oh, sure, I was brilliant. And the older I get, the better I was. It's a good job that, as Jack Kyle once said to me, you know, he says, isn't it great that there were no cameras around when we were playing? You know, so...
I heard rugby was all about kicking back in those days as well, though. Putting it the jumper or kick it downfield.
But even at dinners, you know, when I get up at dinners and they just say, well, for all of you who never saw me play, which is most of them, I was absolutely brilliant. You know? So they can't tell you weren't.
It's the second attempt now for Madigan.
Yeah, this is one that has to go over.
He'll be hoping for a better result this time around.
He's usually good at adjusting, though. Unless I'm going to put the curse on him again.
And Lansdowne are into the lead. 3-0 is the score. And Madigan, he didn't get the first one, but he nails the second one. And Lansdowne are in the lead in this big 1-8 clash.
So it's sets it up nicely now for a tight game now.
That's what we want to see.
Bit of excitement.
And this is often what these teams produce, like we were saying.
They do, yeah. They play good rugby. I mean, for me, the most interesting rugby in Ireland, apart from schools rugby,
I'd
which
be a big believer in that.
I love the club game. I think the product of AIL is very, very good and very high standard, and it's a pity there are not more of the interprovincial players actually playing for the clubs.
Yeah.
I think they're overprotected and they should be playing every week.
Yeah.
They're there to play rugby. Why not play rugby? Like keeping them in cotton wool. There's no use really.
Terenure have the ball on halfway. Alan Benny just giving out about something. Here's Adams coming in off his wing. But Lansdowne deal with him. Lansdowne's defence has been really good so far, making their first up tackles. But there's the penalty and a chance for Terenure to get into the Lansdowne neighbourhood.
Yeah, they will now. But they laboured over that ball, and if you don't move away from it, you're always going to get penalised.
And McKeown sends it down the track lines. And that's a huge line out coming up for Terenure. Their first real visit into the 22.
It is, yeah. And be interested to see what happens here.
They had issues with the line out earlier on, so it'll be interesting to see if they can fix it now.
Yeah.
That's a better result from Terenure.
Line out.
And they take it. Jim White to Riley, the centre. It was a bit behind him the ball, but he managed to get a Coughlin. Can Terenure convert this opportunity into points? They let it out. And look at Fenlon on the wing, the young man, only 20 years old.
Penalty coming as well.
Penalty. Luke Rigney, former Newbridge man, beats up the meters. McKeown. And it could be on here for a Terenure. Aaron Egan. And look at Max Russell on the wing, but he just couldn't.
Great tackle in the corner. I thought he was certain to be in there in the corner, but he didn't make it. It was a really, really good cover tackle. But the penalty goes back to the original penalty.
But Terenure just showed
the points on the board, and
I wonder what the Paddy Power odds were for a draw here today.
I don't know, but I'd say the Paddy Powers bet on heavy rain today, because that's what we were expecting. We didn't quite get it. Not so far anyway, but it could latch.
Literally about a year.
Aaron Egan lines this one up. An accomplished kicker. He'll look to level the scores.
They couldn't see the corner of the pitch. That's why they're moving our cover.
But Egan
He missed it.
sliced off the boot.
Wow.
And that's a rare error from him.
It is. He's normally very accurate. Just shows you the pressure of the day. But I think there is a swirly old wind there as well. I think there's something coming around the corner of the stadium there, and that can affect things.
Sometimes it's hard for us to tell in the commentary box.
It is, yeah, it is. It is.
But Terenure will have the option to run it back here. And they do. Will Hickey, former Leinster player. Here's Rigney, the big man. Move out of the way, he says. Screams of offside. But no penalty coming yet. McKeown stabs one in behind. And you can fit the Terenure one into the task at the minute.
Yeah, they're certainly getting more into the game now, Terenure. I think the ref is having a word with one of the Terenure players because the Lansdowne player was taken off the ball there. And he's just putting a warning shot across their bows.
They'll be trainer to throw in the lineout. Came from City of Armagh, I was told.
That's right. That's right.
A team they've got their own big games coming up, trying to fight for survival.
They are indeed.
Terenure just piling the men in.
And Eden again.
Formerly a Nace. Marks puts boot to ball. And that's a brilliant kick.
That's a great kick in behind. I always think it's better in these situations, play out of your own half, because it's less likely you're going to make a mistake in your own half, give away a penalty, or have a breakdown and end up in trouble. Get it out of your half and let the opposition team worry about how they're going to get back to your place. They always said to me back in the day that I kicked too much, but as I said, I never met the man who could run as fast as I could kick it. You know? Why? And Jack Charlton once, I met him at a soccer thing, and he said, you know, rugby's the same as soccer, he said. What you got to do is get the opposition to face their own goalpost. Put it in behind them. Nobody likes having the ball behind them.
And as you say that, McKeown takes your instructions.
Huge kick.
But they're going to run it back now, Lansdowne. They stick it high into the sky. That's a brilliant take, though, from Aaron Egan. Very assured under the high ball. Bit of kick tennis early on here. Classy. But he's shoved back. Alan Benny might do the classic scrum half box kick now. That's exactly what he does. And Matthews is hit hard.
He is, but he did well to get it out.
It's a real possession type game at the minute, isn't it?
It is, yeah. There's, it's too tight to start flinging it all over the place. I think they're all aware of what's on here today.
And Matthews sticks it up. But it lands on the Terenure side. Classy makes the meters. And Classy is away. He lost support if he wants to use it. But he loses it in contact. And Luke Classy looked like he was heading for the try line. But now it's Lansdowne who have their tails up. And this game's springing to life. Well, Terenure will have the scrum. Well, Luke Classy there made all the meters.
Did very well, and he's quite fleet of foot for a big fella, isn't he?
You feel at the moment, though, Terenure have more players that can break the line.
Yeah,
make the meters.
They're certainly making better ground, that's for sure. But I mean, it's still a very tight game, and I don't think either side is really on top yet.
First quarter gone here, and 3-0 the score. It could be a low-scoring game.
It could, and it also, because it's so tight, that you don't even notice the time going along. So it's...
Luke Rigney, Craig Adams, Jordan Coughlin, and Adam LeGrew and Marcus Hannon all played for the Irish clubs last week in their whitewash victory over Portugal.
Yeah, well, you'd sort of expect that, but it was a good win from we had no players on that team, which is a bit disappointing.
Carl Leddy was on the team last year, but
yeah, he was, yeah. But I thought that Andy Marks would be thereabouts, so bit surprised and disappointed at that.
Terenure have the scrum.
But there are also some guys can't travel this time of the year, work and
commitments,
all that, yeah, commitments are there.
Alan Benny, McKeown puts his centre through the gap, and Ethan Riley thought he was away.
Yeah, it was a forward pass.
But the pass is slightly forward, and he has to hold his horses for now.
He has to hold his horses. There's a nice cut. They're making some nice incisions in the midfield. You were right what you said earlier, that they do look a little bit more dangerous than Lansdowne at the moment. In those areas.
It's the right idea, though, that move.
It is
just the execution, just a little bit off.
Yeah, it's just a little bit forward, but it was obviously forward. But If they could have timed it better, they were straight through.
And just shooting a warning shot.
Yeah, exactly. But they look very vibrant when they get through Terenure, don't they? They pile into the gaps and
they're very fluid.
They are. Yeah. Somebody going off. I'm not sure who that is. Is it a home player or an away?
It's a Terenure player, I think.
Terenure player. There was no histrionics there, so you can be sure that guy is hurt, actually hurt. Isn't it lucky we're not watching a soccer match? Or they'd be lying down, rolling around on the ground.
We'll try and figure that out for you, who's gone off. But never nice to see that so early in a game like this.
No. And it was all decided quickly, so that sounds like something more serious than a normal injury,
Matthews with the feed. They go left. Making a bit of ground on halfway. Parada goes back to the kick.
He needs to go close to the touchline with that kick.
Here's Adam LeGrew.
He's giving him a chance to run back at him.
You don't want to be giving the ball to him. Such a dangerous player. And now Terenure flinging it around. Ethan Riley. He's done a lot so far in the centre. But Van Eden is on the scraps, but it could be a Terenure penalty coming up. And it is indeed.
He just got slightly isolated there. Lansdowne were slow to get in there on that breakdown. And that left them open to that penalty.
The first 15 minutes were very tight. Both teams were afraid to make a mistake, and now it's got a little bit broken.
Yeah. It'll get more broken as the game goes on as well. There'll be more happening, but
been really impressed with Ethan Riley though so far for Terenure.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Causing Lansdowne some problems. And of course, Ballynahinch are also on the same points as Lansdowne going into this game.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
So they're still very much in the picture as well.
Janet.
And Cork in 4th as well.
That's right. But they certainly, I've noticed that Ballynahinch get a lot of the Ulster players that they need, for their games. They've had a lot more support really than the Leinster clubs this year.
Lovely work on the loop between Ethan Riley and Aaron Egan. And Adam LeGrew, the dancing feet. Here's Rigney. Was Newbridge captain, I believe, for a time.
It was.
But Terenure lose that ball.
This is very nip and tuck, isn't it?
Struggling to put the phases together, both teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of nervousness out there as well, and it's no quarter given or taken, so you'd expect that it'll loosen up in the second half when the guys get tired and there's a bit more movement,
Well, Lansdowne probably have the easier games coming up in their last 2. They have UCD away, and then they're home to Garryowen, who have really struggled this season.
Yeah, but
whereas Terenure have some tough tests.
We already lost to Garryowen, unfortunately. That was the first game of the season, and just terrible. It was desperate defeat, really.
Terenure have to play Cork in their last game before the playoffs if they make them.
Yeah.
So that's a difficult ask.
Oh, yeah.
Madigan. Lansdowne. Putting the ball through the hands and they're away now. Here's their left winger. Headerman gets them into the 22. And there's Beakus, the big South African, always looking for work. They go back down this left side. Here's Marks. This is really good from Lansdowne. Madigan. Oh, it's a huge hit. sit down.
I'm not sure.
But it was
I'm
hot.
not sure that well.
Do you think it was hot or just a big
I
collision?
think I think he just took him and dropped him down. I mean, he didn't throw him over head height or anything like that.
Bit harsh.
I think that's a harsh penalty, but it's the way. Well, it's one that is given automatically nowadays.
It's hard as well for these local referees. They don't have the access of a TMO. So
That's the thing. And what he saw was a turn up. So if the bum goes above the waistline, like if your ass is up higher than your torso, you're probably going to get the penalty. I think that's why he gave it to him. But it wasn't a vicious tackle or anything like that. Like you always know when it's a really bad one.
yeah.
And
Rob Hederman, his wheels were in motion there.
yeah, he's a good player now. He's quite swift now.
And it's the first real time we saw Lansdowne move like that.
Yeah, they moved it quite well that time and got into space. It's going to be interesting. I think he might go for the corner this time.
Because the angle's a bit difficult, so he might look to go down the line.
So it's still 15 meters in. So, I mean, there's not a huge amount of excuse in it, but they might like to just change the tempo now and see if they can stretch the Terenure team at their own goal line.
And when scores are at a premium as well, they might
That's the thing.
They know if they can score, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be used.
See, if they kick to the corner and they score, that's fine. They've made the right decision. But if you kick the corner and you don't score, well, then you should have taken the 3 points.
There's no margins for error.
That's where the facts come in.
And they are going down that line.
I hope it goes right for the corner now, and he's gone a bit short. But
playing it safe.
Yeah,
but you see that sometimes out halves go for every inch, and then it doesn't work out.
Well, Prendergast is brilliant at it. I mean, he puts it right into the corner and gets the 5-yard line out, which is what you want. You want to get a 5. Now, that one was closer to the line than I thought it was going to be.
First job.
Far closer, yeah. It was close to the line.
First job, though. You have to get the line out right for Lansdowne. Trainer. Will he find his man?
He has to find his man. This is
a huge line out. Cook goes up, he hits the target, and they shifted quickly. Just a try for Lansdowne. Just like that, they scored their first try of the game.
I think Terenure thought they were going to bring it down and go for the big maul, but they just took it down so quickly and went around the front.
They shifted it quickly there.
Tactical line out, very good.
Will he find his man?
To go for the corner sometime. He has to find his man.
A quick transition at the line out. Cook takes it down. Hits the target, and they shifted quickly.
They took it very well.
And a great score for Lansdowne.
That's a decent return now for a trip to the corner.
It's a tough kick though, coming up for Madigan.
Yeah.
Right on the 22-metre line.
Well, as your dad used to say when he was playing for Bective, play the percentages. That's right. Play the percentages. He was a good Newbridge boy too.
And Madigan hits this one.
No.
But it's not going to hit the target.
No,
and 8-0 is the score. Lansdowne won't be complaining. 8-0 in the lead, half an hour gone.
Yeah, no, they'd be happy with that. But it's a long, long way from home, though. So don't
get too excited.
You don't. Terenure will always come back. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
They put a contestable one up, and they get to the man quickly. Lansdowne just getting organised.
Yeah.
Matthews goes for the box kick.
Actually, a good kick.
Adam LeGrew follows it under all sorts of pressure. Lansdowne might look to move this one. Clark.
Terenure looked offside there, and the midfield backs
That's a huge hit in the middle of the park.
It's bringing it back, yeah.
A long advantage there.
It was a long advantage. I thought it was longer than you would expect, really. And taking it back to the scrum.
And it was Harry Van
Very
Eden.
loose, actually. When he gave the advantage there, the thing was a little bit loose and wouldn't have been of any great advantage, I felt, for Lansdowne on that. And that's possibly why he brought it back, but he did give them, 10 seconds of play,
Harry Van Eden was the man who scored that try for Lansdowne.
Was it? Was Van Eden. He's a good player. He's as tough as old boots.
What use?
Most of the South Africans are as well, anyway.
Yeah, it's in their DNA.
Yeah.
And here's Marks still rolling.
Yeah, he's very good.
For every metre. Chris O'Connor is in for Terenure as well. Or Andy Cosgrave, I should say, making his AIL debut. They moved that ball quickly. Van Eden. Parada acts as scrum half. Jerry Carr. Madigan to Redmond. But he kind of flings that one out, chucks it out. They look to the space. But Terenure deal with it well. They'll send it back. It's bouncing all over the place, but Lansdowne still have. Here's Redmond. This game is a bit disjointed at the moment.
It is. It's very loose.
Clark goes down this right side. Van Eden already got one. Prinsjesberger one. And Van Eden throws the offload to Trainer. And Lansdowne are looking for a second. Cook gets smashed.
Absolutely upturned that tackle. He really got upturned.
Clark. For Lansdowne, they can feel it. They want another score. Madigan, a dangerous pass, a bit risky, but they still have it.
Might have been a deliberate knock on there as well, but he didn't. The ref didn't react like he thought it was, so it might have been gone for the intercept.
Here's Parada, a show and go. Lansdowne edging closer. Can they convert this into a score? Here's Madigan down the left. Marks to his winger. Just like that, Lansdowne scores.
Super try.
Rob Heatherman with the score.
Well, it was a sweet try that. They waited their time for it and took them their time to do it, but when they got the space, they took it very well.
They stayed patient on the ball, stayed composed. Went through the phases. Can they convert this into a score? Get their second score, and they're fully in the driving seat now, heading into the halftime break.
But they do need to start getting some of the place kicks, because they are the big difference at the end of the day. You're still not 2 scores ahead.
13-0 the score.
It's very hard to judge from where we are whether a kick is going over or not, isn't it?
But again,
missed it again.
His third miss of the day from a very similar position to his last kick.
Yeah, and he'll be a little bit disappointed, I'd say. I know it was far out, but it still leaves Terenure within 1 score. Within 2 scores. It's not a huge return for a lot of work.
But they are in the lead, and that's what matters at this moment in time. Jordan Coughlin revving up his engine.
such a well-built young man, isn't he? Like his huge thighs on him and great strength.
Terenure bringing it up to halfway. They need to score before half time, you feel. Just have some sort of confidence going into the sheds. LeGrew. But Benny's going to have to come back here.
Then he was getting excited there. He thought he was away.
Probably scored many a try in a Lansdowne jersey.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it would commentate on the match as he was playing it as well.
We should see if we can get him a little. We can get him a little live mouthpiece someday.
You'd love to hear what he was actually saying, because he has a propensity for setting off trouble on the pitch. So.
But a chance for Terenure.
Yeah, get down the paddock this time.
But it has been possession dominated by Lansdowne in this game.
They've done pretty well, but I still think there's a lot left in this game. I mean, this game will not be won on 13-0. That's for sure.
Well, if there's one guarantee about the AIL, it's don't leave your screen, because you might see one score 1 minute, but it can change drastically pretty quickly.
Very quickly, yeah. But you see by the quality of the play, the standard is good, and it's something that I can't understand why there's no proper newspaper coverage of the games, of league tables. I never see a league table in the Irish Times or the Independent. They should have coverage. Yet if it was a camogie match down in Laois, they'd have all of that in it. So rugby's not being covered properly as far as I can see.
A clean take from Coughlin at the line out. They try and work their way into that 22 through them all, and they have a penalty advantage in the back pocket if they want to use it. Benny goes himself, sniping away. Coughlin, give it to me. But they're going to go back for the penalty.
So they're going back for the penalty.
Oh, we think we know where this is going.
Into the corner, I'd say.
And can they get a score before half-time? And like you said, if they can go into half-time 13-7 down, they'll be happy enough.
Very happy.
Lansdowne scored from this sort of situation earlier on.
They did. And Lansdowne have been a little bit wasteful since they scored there, and
they've let Terenure back in.
They have.
Max Russell has to hit his line out, find his darts. Coughlin takes on the responsibility to throw, but that's the wrong time to be doing something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. They trust the long throw. They're throwing it back to 8, and it just hasn't worked out for them so far. No, it's unlucky, and there's, 38 minutes gone? I'm not sure if that clock ties with the referee, does it?
I always say in AIL and Leinster League games that I do, you never know.
You never should.
You never know what the referee has. A week of it as something, but it's always different.
Yeah. I don't know if you were watching Terenure in the Schools Cup final the other day, were you?
Mikey Smith, young Mikey Smith,
Yeah. I tell you, it was an impressive performance, though, by Terenure. For a young team, they were very good, very, very good indeed.
And Lansdowne flexing the misses at the scrum. And a penalty's going to come as the reward.
It's a good scrum. It was a good scrum.
And Jerry Carr getting the pats on the head. They're happy with him. Yeah. And Greg McGrath as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a pretty seminal moment there for Lansdowne, to concentrate on the scrum.
Greg McGrath played for Ulster as well.
That's right, yeah. Good player. What club did Jordan Coughlin play for, other than Leinster? He was Leinster for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, Leinster, Munster and Leicester Tigers.
Leicester Tigers, yeah. I knew he'd gone to the UK, all right. It's hard to imagine why he's not a full-time pro player, isn't it? Like he's got easily enough talent to be playing at that level.
But the bar to become a pro now, it's rising all the time, isn't
it? That's it. It is, yeah. And he has a very good career, was a very good career.
If you can make it as an all-time AIL player, it's a good career
It
nowadays.
is, yeah, it is.
Madigan tosses it on, shouts across, but they put him into touch. And a little bit of argy-bargy on the ground.
Argy. You have to have a bit of argy-bargy, though, in every game, don't you?
Were you fond of a bit of that back in the day?
I didn't mind a bit of argy-bargy. And the thing was, in our day, you could get away with it. Now, Jesus, everybody's got a camera on you.
Big brother's always watching you.
That's right, yeah. You could get a decent smack in on a fella back in the day as well, which you can't now. You know, and there's always such a reaction to things like that. I don't know whether he's blown for half-time, has he? He has blown for half-time.
And that's the half-time break.
Yeah.
13-0 the score. Madigan opened the scoring. Harry Van Eden got Lansdowne's first try after a smart move at the line-out. And then winger Rob Hederman got the second. So Lansdowne are in the driving seat, leading 13-0 at the moment. And at the moment, they will be going back into that top four. And they'll have a spot in the playoffs going into the last two rounds. But a lot of rugby to be played yet. 40 minutes left, and we'll be back with you shortly for the second half. And we're back for the second half. 13-0 the score. Lansdowne in the lead. At the moment, they will be going into the top four. And I'll just have a quick look for you at the other scores happening. Cork Connor 20-15 up against Young Munster. St Mary's are 21-14 in the lead against Ballyhinch. Clontarf are 8-0 in the lead against UCD. And Garryowen are beating City of Armagh 19-3 in the Palace grounds. So with the scores like that, Cork Con will remain in third. Lansdowne would go into fourth. Mary's second and Clontarf first. But there's still 40 minutes of rugby to be played here. Matthews kicks it. LeGrew goes up for it, can't take it cleanly. Lands back with Jerry Carr. But we're going to come back for the knock-on. Lansdowne, as I said earlier, haven't won a game against Terenure in the AIL on 8 occasions. So today would break that streak if they could get over the line. Matthews goes to the numbers, but they're under pressure here. Messy ball. A lot for them to deal with, but they hack it away. LeGrew wants to run. Jordan Coughlin. Aaron Egan. Playing out half since Colin McKeown has left us.
Suspected broken ankle as well, by the way.
Tough injury.
Very unfortunate.
Won a Pro 12 title with Connor. Did Connor. And now Terenure get it to LeGrew. He throws it back inside to Coughlin. And Terenure, their tails are up. They want to score and they want to score quickly. Bringing a real energy to the start of this second half. The men in purple and black. Here's Adams. Maybe a bit high in the tackle there.
Sure.
Creeping up.
I'm not sure why. I don't know what he's signalling there. Whether he felt he would have gone like that if he was too high. So maybe it's just over shoulder height. Maybe that's what he was thinking. You know,
potentially just crept up.
Yeah, it's possible. It's very hard judgment nowadays. You know, I'm always of the feeling that you've got to get the ref to think about whether there was anything malicious in it or not. A lot of guys do it by mistake, and you've always got the player who has the ball ducking. You know, he doesn't want to get hit head high, so he's ducking down and he walks into the arm, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And Terenure look to get this line out right, but they can't. And Lansdowne have stolen it. And again, at the wrong moment, we saw it at the end of the first half. Terenure, just their execution isn't really there. But Lansdowne are away. And just like that, defence into attack. Lansdowne looking to punish Terenure for another mistake. Van Eden, Trainer, the hooker, always floating around the flanks he is. And now it's Lansdowne who have the penalty.
They need to take this kick. I mean, they need to get the kick over to put themselves more than 2 scores ahead. This is where it becomes really crucial now.
Play the scoreboard.
Play the scoreboard. It's important. And it's not an easy one either.
But Terenure again, they're in that 22. They're in the red zone and they can't convert.
Yeah, they've had a little bit of bad luck there as well. I mean, they were very close on a couple of occasions, and waiting to see what he's going to do.
It looks like he's heading for the line.
Yeah,
he's not listening to you.
Well, I'd say he just hasn't had the confidence of having a few over already.
Is it to do with the angle though as well?
It could have been the angle as well. Yeah, you have to give him that. But I also think the wind is different out here, so it's easy for me to talk from here. But he obviously feels there's a movement in that wind.
And Lansdowne scored from a position just like this in the first half. Their first score, Harry Van Eden with the score.
Yeah, a little nearer in that time, but
again to Beacus, keeping it in tight, front up rugby, and they're over. And Lansdowne are running rampant at the minute.
That's a big try, all right. That was a pretty important one. So they'll be happy with that. I mean, that's a really good organised play. Tactically good.
Clark.
And
he doesn't quite get there. They go
sometimes
again.
You're saying kick for goal, and they kick for the corner. But if you score off that corner,
tight.
You're in the business.
And a great try. Kick and go.
Who got the try? I wonder.
We'll double check that for you now.
Yeah.
But it's a straightforward conversion for Madigan, and fortune favours the brave.
It does. 20-0 is good score.
And not many would have predicted this at this stage of the game.
Probably not, but I mean, there has been some disruption to the Terenure team in recent times. Lads heading off to Japan in the middle of the season. So, I mean, that can't have helped them, and, they haven't had a whole lot of luck today either so far. So I would say that you expect they'll come back, though. They will come back into this game.
Matthews will fly it away. LeGroux with the take.
Very dangerous, isn't he, LeGroux?
He's elusive.
Always looking for a bit of space. Positive player. I love watching him.
Well, Lansdowne get the penalty. At the minute, everything going the way of the home team.
Yeah. They've been good at the breakdown, though. The back row have played well today. I'll tell you something else I like about that referee there, is that he's not listening to what shouts coming from the touchline, because the crowds are always likely to, shout, offside, offside. He's got to make his own decisions, and I think he's done that today. He's been quite impressive now. It's a good ball from Madigan.
Puts them on the edge of the 22. And this will be a performance that Declan Fassbender will be delighted with so far.
Yes, he'll be very pleased with them so far. I mean, it was stodgy enough in the first half for a long time. When they were just testing each other out. But as it gets looser and they get more tired, you'll see a lot more ball flying around.
Another good take at the lineup. But as I say that again, I need to stop saying that.
Yeah. Every time you say it, they throw it crooked. That's one thing I'm going to avoid now, is going into a pub with you and going for a dartboard.
Yeah.
Because you'd say, nothing wrong with this, and I'd have a sharp piece of stuff in the back of my head or something.
Don't trust me with darts.
Yeah. Well, darts. It's amazing how sport can be transformed, though, by a guy, a teenage boy.
Luke Littler.
Luke Littler. I mean, it's just unbelievable the effect he's had on the sport.
Bit like Sam Prendergast, though, as well, when he came on the scene for the under-20s.
That's right, yeah. That's right. There's lots left in Prendergast. I think, you know, I mean, it would be a surprise if he got the Lions tour, I think, because I think it might
Maybe
be
a bit too early, yeah.
Yeah, but like he has so much going for him and he's going to improve and improve. There's no doubt about it. He's a class act and I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes, you know. Lansdowne really do have to concentrate on giving nothing away now and just making sure, you know, don't go into your shell, but you know, don't don't get loose. That's the thing. They've got to make sure they make hits.
Riley takes it up. Lansdowne don't want to offer any easy escape here.
Do you want one? And use it as allows to me. So for him. Yeah, keep wording that.
Lovely flick on.
A beautiful ball.
But Lansdowne not letting them out. They fling it on a bit of space on the wing here.
Yeah. Very close to getting away there.
Lansdowne have stolen it. On the ground. Matthews kicks it. Terenure send it back.
Delighted you were able to see that because I missed that bit. You were looking at the sky.
Trainer steps
Good
back
run.
inside.
Run. Not bad for a hooker.
Carr, he's been really good today, the loose head.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Really impressed with him.
Oh, ref, please.
Was with Belvedere and Trinity. He was with Belvedere and Trinity.
Yeah.
Before he came here.
So with all these passes back inside, the refs are left sometimes with nowhere to go. I mean, they're trying to stay out of the action and they end up right in the way of a pass, you know, so it's a bit difficult.
We're sorry about the technical difficulties we've encountered here today. But technology, you know, can be tricky sometimes.
I suppose one of the technical difficulties can be that the two commentators don't know what they're talking about as well.
That too, yeah. I always love watching the comments in these things.
Do you get a lot of comments in? You do? People coming in saying what you were like and what you weren't like.
Yeah. People like giving out, alright.
Yeah. We have a world of people wanting to give out.
But the clock just ticking down, and Lansdowne will be happy enough with this, comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. What are we at now, time-wise? Certainly must be close to 3/4 of the game.
And I was reading the scores while you were gone. Garryowen are winning in City of Armagh at the moment.
That'd be a big win for them. Be a big win for them.
Kirk Connor also leading against Young Munster. So at the moment, Lansdowne would go into the top four. And they chuck one over the top. Sullivan, former Connacht winger. But there was hands on there and Terenure got the penalty.
Just got isolated and Terenure were in quickly and dumping the player over the top. So Terenure get their penalty.
Peter Sullivan, Greystone's man, but played with Connacht.
That's right, he's a good player, strong runner. Got 25 minutes left anyway, so there's plenty of time.
but they don't find touch there, and another mistake, and it could be costly. Redmond flies into the contact,
High tackle.
and it favours him because he gets the penalty.
Yeah. Just going to have a little word there, the ref.
Madigan might fancy a pop at this.
Yeah, I'd certainly have a go. No, he's going to tell him to go to the corner.
A prime Mickey Quinn would have
had
his lips at this one.
Ah, yeah, that'd be a chip back in the day. but then we had the leather ball, and if it got wet, it was like a big stone,
Is that to do with the captain's call, or is that an out half confidence?
No, well, I would think the captain meant. I saw them talking there, and the captain just pointed to the corner. So I take it that he wanted it to go to the corner.
The signs Cook at the line out, and they go to that maul. Terenure dealing with it well, but they're creeping forward slowly. Parada takes it up, first receiver. Madigan out the back. Here's Sullivan in off his wing.
Oh, very good.
Still going. Throws it back inside.
Back to the Terenure guy.
Very loose.
Oh my goodness.
And now the chase is on. But Andy Marks is there to take care of things. And he wants to run it as well. Full of confidence.
Oh, late tackle.
And it looked like Sullivan was going to score there.
Yes, he was. He might have been better just holding on to the ball,
Taking it to ground.
Yeah.
And that urgency maybe is causing Terenure to fly into these challenges a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's a bit of frustration there, but it hasn't been a game that's been out of hand by any matter of means. But it's a yellow card.
It's a yellow
For
card.
the sub. Yeah, the sub.
Tom
Coughlin, yeah, he's had to walk.
A cousin of Jordan.
That's the thing about Terenure. They always bring, as Moggy says, they always bring the whole family in.
Well, that's what you want as a rugby club. You want everyone coming through your doors.
That young boy who played out half for Terenure School the other day, is he one of Moggy's?
I'm not too sure on that.
Yeah. Same name, so I thought he might be.
Casper Gabriel also a Terenure player.
Very, very good player. He's a talented boy, that.
Wasn't eligible for Irish under-20s this year because of the residency rule. I think
that's right.
He has one more year left on that. Originally from Austria.
Yeah. He can still ski for Austria, can't he?
If the rugby player doesn't work out yet.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
But the back line just malfunctioning there. And the referee getting some stick from the fans.
Yeah, but it didn't go forward. It rolled back. So he was actually right there.
Redmond tries to find a hole. Matthews. Clark. Madigan puts his man through a hole. Parada flings one over the top to Sullivan. He's been very dangerous in this half. Parada again. Lansdowne are very much the team in the ascendancy here. McGrath
Control play, isn't it?
taking it through the phases, but there was a knock on in there.
What a pity, because they'd actually set it up nicely. And just a pity they weren't able to finish that off.
And if Lansdowne were to finish fourth, that would set up a semi-final with Clontarf.
Yeah. Wouldn't be much fun in that.
Some serious humdingers between those.
There have been some good ones, all right, yeah. But it's no longer considered the El Clasico, is it? It's now Terenure and Clontarf. So we're staying out of all that. I can tell you.
You're okay with being in the background.
Oh, God, yeah. Stay in the long grass. Don't be putting your head up above the parapet too far. Sniper can take you out.
Wait in the long grass. Wait for the opportunity.
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. I was up yesterday in Belfast at a funeral for Billy McComb, who played 5 times for Ireland. And the great thing was he was in the squad when I was in it years ago, and he was a fine guy, a great guy, and he played for Trinity. He played for Bangor as well, and he was the youngest out half ever to play for Ireland, and he was only 18 or 19. I was the second youngest, and we had that little association together. We were good pals, and he passed away during the week.
Terenure move it quickly in the groove. He's away. Can he keep it in field? Oh, yes, he can.
Forward pass.
But the pass was a bit ambitious.
It was. Well, there wasn't much he could do with it because the player hadn't sort of run ahead of him. So when he passed it inside, he was left in a no-win situation there. You know, it was unfortunate for him.
Adam McGrew is the man that can make something happen though
He
for
makes
Terenure.
things happen, and he has that positive aspect of his game that he's always looking for. He's a bit of a Jimmy Greaves. He's in there always looking for an opportunity.
Turn something
Yeah, and he has
from
confidence.
nothing into something.
Yeah, he has confidence. Did he do anything at school's level at all?
Not too sure, but it wouldn't surprise me.
No, he can't.
Called into the Leinster A squad in November when they played Munster.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because he's an excellent player.
Chris O'Connor just entering the game here. Played his Irish under-20 debut last week against Italy off the bench. Went to St. Michael's College. A lot of
Michael's guys seem to all join Terenure now.
Andy Ski.
Just their boys back.
That city of our bad result might help you.
Yes, in as a result, or
Well, it's 19-3 last time I checked, so I'll
yeah.
have a look now. 2018 in the lead against Munster. St. Mary's 31-21 against Ballyhinch. Clontarf 15-5 against UCD. and Garryowen are still in the lead against City of Armagh 26-10.
Boy, that's a big lead too.
Well, UCD will need a win as well because they'll be in 9th place going into next week if things stay the same.
Well,
But Lansdowne again get the penalty at the scrum. Powerful.
well, they're up against the 7-man pack with the yellow card, so you'd expect them to get a shove on there.
And in 2A today, if Instonians beat Greystones, they will win the 2A title and secure their 4th promotion in 4 years.
That is excellent. Yeah, that's impressive stuff. It's very impressive.
Straight from the junior ranks of Ulster Rugby, 2C champions, 2B champions, and now they're on the cusp of 2A.
They've certainly put a lot in recent times.
1B rugby for them next season.
Yes.
If they win against Greystones. Because they played Lansdowne in the Bateman Cup final this year.
They did.
Lansdowne first controlled second half so far.
Yes, it has.
They're not doing enough.
No, they're doing enough, and they're playing. They're again playing with sentiment, you know.
But again, crossing the call, but the referee favours Lansdowne. And there's a few unhappy players.
Yeah, there might have been a bit of crossing there. I felt that the Lansdowne player did impede the Terenure player on that one.
Mark Nicholson in for Terenure from Wicklow Rugby Club.
See that wind now. It's building up the wind. It's against Lansdowne too. It's quite a big breeze.
Mark Nicholson was with Trinity, now with Terenure. His family heavily involved in Wicklow Rugby Club.
Yeah.
His dad, Bert, is a great man.
That's right. It's a great club.
Big Towns Cup Day tomorrow in Wicklow Rugby Club. That's a good line out.
It's a great competition, the Towns Cup, isn't it?
Very tribal. But Lansdowne somehow have sniffed that one out. Here's Maloney. And if they can score here, it would be the bonus point. Murata. Clark.
We'll probably come back out the left now.
They have the numbers to the left, like you say. But where's that ball? Terenure might have taken it.
Oh.
And right on the line, Terenure get a penalty.
I don't know what happened there. Lansdowne couldn't clear it out. They're a bit slack going in on that one, but Terenure saved themselves very well there.
But 20 points deficit and a little over 15 minutes to go. In the right area of the field for Lansdowne. But again, Terenure got fine quick. Happened on a couple of occasions today. With Clark ever involved. And they get another penalty. And they can just take their time with this one.
Take their time and kick the corner again. The wind is too strong now. I'd say definitely go the corner. That wind has built up, hasn't it?
I've been told in the comments that the Terenure right half from Monday is Michael's nephew.
Michael's nephew.
So, thank you to that commenter.
Wasn't too much mistake in the head on him anyway. So certainly had that family look about it today. He's a nice footballer too. Good footballer.
Some really good young lads. Mikey Smith Jr.
Oh, excellent player. Knew his dad very well. The rest of them. He's a super player. Another cheeky chappy as well. They have a lot of cheeky chappies up in Terenure.
Yeah.
I saw Slick Mahoney going in today.
And this could be a fruitful position for Lansdowne. And if
You want to be?
they could get all 5 points, that would be the dream scenario.
It would, yeah.
Donald Lawler is on as well now. Son of Phil Lawler.
It's a fine player as well.
Shark with the take. Here comes the maul. Here comes the power. Here comes the bonus point. Lansdowne are in charge. And they're heading for that top 4 going into the last 2 rounds of the AIL.
That was an excellent try, and they went back to the original type of ball there.
He's on as well now.
They went around the front for the first try, around the back for the second.
Shark with the take.
They went.
Here comes the maul. Here comes the.
So pretty well, I'd say. Terenure now are the beaten side, and they've had, the injury today. They've had a couple of yellow cards, which hasn't helped them. So the buzz has gone out of their game a bit.
And that's when coaches love that sort of try.
Yeah.
It's from the training ground.
That's the training ground try, and Reese Ruddock will be very happy with the pack, the way they've played today. They've done well. It'd be nice if Madigan can get this kick now just to make things better on the kicking department.
And as you say it, he obliges.
Yeah.
27-0 the score, and that's the bonus point in the bag. All 5 points will be going to Lansdowne.
It's a very good result for Lansdowne, actually, because they've played well in the second half of the season, started poorly, looked like they were going to be a relegation team, and we've come back very well from it.
They'll be 3 points ahead of Terenure heading into the last 2 rounds.
Yeah. And, Declan Fassbender's done a good job with Reese Ruddock, with the team. They're going well, going very well.
That Terenure Cork Con game in the last round could be a playoff decider.
It could
straight
be
knockout
decider, yeah, could be.
A day to forget for Sean Skeen and his men.
Yeah, they haven't been had much luck either today. They hadn't got a lot of bounces today, so it's a difficult day at the office for Garryowen. They haven't had many difficult days.
Made the last 2 in the finals.
Diving over the top there, that was a dangerous one. It was a dangerous one. That's one the ref was right to get involved there, because that was a very dangerous entry by the Terenure player. It's frustration, really, more than anything, and he just came right over the top of everything,
And of course, Belvedere 1B champions. They could be a 1A side next season.
Brilliantly this year. Belvo have had a really good season.
A good friend of yours is delighted, Ollie Campbell.
Ollie is happy as a pig in shit. It really is.
Another legend of Irish rugby. I always put you, Tony Ward, and Ollie Campbell in the similar bracket, the out halves of that era.
He called us all legends when legend is the same spelling as leg end. I'm sure weren't we all great? They all forgot about the missed tackles and all the other knock-ons and everything that they had.
Sure, didn't out half ever tackle.
I was a good tackler. She was brilliant, mate.
Madigan to Lawler, but he gets sit down.
He's good.
Sat down. Kenny is in at scrum half as well. Lovely switch line. Redmond. And Lansdowne. They're feeling it now.
Enjoying themselves now, the way they're playing well.
But there will be a scrum.
A bit of argy-bargy again there. Knock on. Turn your ball.
But next week is no easy points game. The UCD, they'll be up for it. It's
No, that'll be a tough game, and they're very quick and they're fast. Lansdowne would have to be at their best to get a result up there.
They spent a lot of time in their own territory in this second half Terenure. They put it through the hands of LeGrew. He can make anything happen, but even he struggled a little bit today. Benny. Lansdowne's defence has been excellent as well.
But yeah,
On and off the ball.
I thought Alan Benny had gone off.
He seems to have come back on.
It's not rolling.
Yeah, but the club rugby is different to the pro game where you can.
Just roll on a complete pack in the pro game.
You're not a fan of the 7-1 split?
No, I don't think it's good for the game, actually. I thought you'd just try to tire out your opposition and the best team wins, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that is, they make a joke of that.
The game of starting with finishers.
Yeah, exactly. But I think a lot of the rules that have been brought in by the bigger nations like France and South Africa, and they know that they have the big guys.
That suits their game.
Yeah, it suits their game. That will make it very hard for Ireland to ever win a big competition, you know.
Terenure are not really making any ground at the moment. Struggling to break down this Lansdowne wall.
And Adams has never given up, though, Garryowen. They've never given up. And have to keep battling away. They don't give up easy.
Well, that's not who they are. They're champions. AIL champions 2 years ago.
Showing us 6 minutes to go. A lot of tired bodies out there now, Carol.
A few lads have earned their points tonight.
Yeah. I'll put them back to. They're going to come straight to their own feet. The weather's starting to turn big time now. It's getting darker. It's getting looking like it's good. They did say in the weather forecast last night we may improve. It's time to take stuff. We've been lucky.
Apparently, we have Topsy Ojo's cousin watching the stream today.
Oh, very good. Topsy was a top player.
I see what you did there.
Oh, class. Topsy was great quality and great. He had a great personality on the pitch. That's what I always love. The laugh and you know enjoy his rugby. You know, and that's what I always thought about him. So it's good to have him in watching on.
It's his cousin, I think, but he was part of that London Irish team that made the European semi-final.
Was, yeah. A lull in the play. So it seems though the lads are just puffing.
Well, Terenure have struggled. This is their turn to feed on the bounce now.
Yeah, we've improved since Christmas. We've improved a lot.
Lansdowne one more. And Andy Marks goes through the gap. And he might go all the way here. Andy Marks, top try scorer for Lansdowne this season. But he's going to have to wait a little while longer.
So close.
Beatrice, the South African. Try number 5. They can smell it. Madigan to Parada, gives it to Redmond, and he gives it to his winger.
Right.
And just like that, Rob Hedeman gets his second and try number 5 for Lansdowne. They're running rampant here on the Lansdowne Road back pitch. A perfect performance. Beatrice, the South African, try number 5. They can smell it. And a 5-star performance at that, Mickey.
It was a very good performance, and
Parada,
they've taken their
gives it to
try very
Redmond.
well. You know,
And he gives it to
nice
his
timing
winger.
of the pass that time for the try. Really nice, and it was a decent performance for Lansdowne. Maybe a couple of minutes left now.
You're a hard man to impress. Only decent.
It was decent enough. I've seen a few bad performances by them this season as well, so I don't want to let them get out of hand.
You won't let them get their heads get too big.
Oh no, jeez, no. At this level, you know, you can't let up, because you could go out next week and get your ass hammered, you know.
No surrender.
Right.
That one isn't good, but they won't want too much.
Well, they've done well. They'll be very happy with that. It's good to see a good crowd here as well, enjoying themselves, and a lovely lunch up there before the match. The place was packed, and
I always say the AIL is the place to be on a Saturday.
it's great fun. I mean,
I'll take the AIL over the UFC any day of the week.
absolutely. It's just much more fun. It's pure.
It's community. It's love of the game stuff.
Yeah.
For the purists.
It's a game against the job. You know, that's it.
The best league in the world, I call it.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant take in there.
Yeah, when you look at it, you know, you think how serious it is, you know. We're already coaching Ireland.
I sit in his face.
Oh, what's that?
His jersey's too off.
He put his jersey. He went on the pitch with nothing on.
Alan Benny
Alan.
doing a strip show.
I think Alan Benny actually enjoyed that. He'd be saying, "Have a look at this, ladies, with this front body." But,
What that left.
fine. That's other side.
Take from Clancy. Can Terenure find the consolation score?
Certainly not giving up anyway. They're looking for it.
A whitewash is never good for the ego.
I know, but I don't think the whitewash thing doesn't matter, because, you know, they'd be more concerned with the overall game, that they haven't threatened a lot in the Lansdowne 22 today, you know.
But again, they haven't been able to. And that's that. A whitewash victory for Lansdowne. 5 points on the board. They're in the top 4 now, with 2 games to go. UCD away and then Garryowen at home. 32-0 the score, 5 tries, 5-star performance. Lansdowne in the playoff spots. And considering the way things were looking at the end of 2024, it's a whole lot different now in 2025.
It is. It's a good result for Lansdowne, and they played very well today and deserved their victory. Hard luck to Terenure. They didn't give up at any stage, but they didn't get the bounce of the ball today. They had a lot of bad luck there today, knock-ons, and a couple of yellow cards didn't help them at all.
And that's all from us today. The commentary duo you didn't know you needed. 32-0 the score. Lansdowne with the win. And we'll see you again soon.